Hello, welcome back to a video already. You guys should be considering yourself super lucky because 2 videos within a matter of days. I haven't even finished editing the first one and haven't released it, but yeah, if you haven't seen me install a USB 2 card in the gateway, go check that out here. Things I have done off camera. I have put in an 80 gigabyte Maxtor hard drive to replace this really loud and slow 40 gigabyte Western Digital drive that was inside the system. Yeah, this thing is really light actually. Very light for a hard drive. I bet it only has 1 platter in it or something, but it seems lighter than it should be. But what we are going to be doing in this video is installing Windows 98 as well as Windows 2000 onto this thing. Now I've already partitioned the hard drive in this thing as well, off camera. And maybe you wanted to see that. I don't know if you really wanted to see that or not. You might have, but oh well. So now I think it's time we get Windows 98 installed on this thing. I have a retail version here, not in its retail packaging, but retail ISO I should say, so I'm just going to shove this in here. But I don't think it's bootable. Is the problem. No, it is not bootable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eject this thing, and I'm going to very quickly put Hiren's boot CD in there. And I'm going to zoom in on the display here so you can see what's going on. So, I think that there's 3 DOS on here. I'm pretty sure anyway. Is there not? DOS programs, that's what we want. And the floppy drive is going crazy for some reason. So we just want, all we want is DOS. DOS, yes. And we want just, I assume that there's going to be disk support. Okay, so let's swap over to our Windows 98 disk. Let it spin up, and I assume I can just go D:, and start setup. Cool. Alright, so set. This is either down or your system's not configured. Are you sure? Continue. Yes. Well, I guess we need to let ScanDisk run, even though I don't want it to. It's going to do this. Ooh. Okay, so it is doing it. Yeah, okay, perfect. So we were able to skip it, and the mouse isn't going to work because it's USB mouse, but that's fine. Okay, that took a little longer than I was anticipating. So next, we need our product key. Well, turns out I wrote my key down wrong, so now that we've got that taken care of, next, we're going to go for a custom install because I want to get the themes in there. Alrighty, so we are finally installing. And I really hope this installs all nice and perfectly on that partition I gave it. Because I didn't format anything, I already formatted things. I have a, I want to say I have a 30 gigabyte partition for this, and then a 50 gigabyte partition for Windows 2000. That sounds about right. Yeah, we'll be back when something interesting happens. Now, that's what I like to see. So it appears that we're all good now, so let's restart. Let me remove the... No, we need to keep the CD in. Why am I trying to remove it? It's not going to boot from it. That's a problem. So it did not work correctly, which is kind of annoying. We'll try and reboot one more time, and if that doesn't work, I'll try and run setup from the disk and hope that works. It could also be that we were using FreeDOS to install this instead of normal MS-DOS. Yeah. I'm going to try and boot from the CD. From Hiren's. Okay, so let me try something here. Somewhere I have a bootable Windows Millennium Edition CD. I know I saw it over here the other day. Where is it at? Try this out. I think my way of doing things was not a very good way of doing things, is what it's looking like. Alrighty, so we are going to boot from Cd-Rom, start computer with Cd-Rom support. Alrighty. So, the first thing I want to do is run fdisk. So let's display partition information. Yeah, alright, well, let's delete the partition. Let's just make a new, let's just delete what, partition 1? Yeah. Alright, so if we display partition, there's no partition. So what we are going to do is create a primary DOS partition. Verify that drive integrity. No, I don't want to use the maximum available size. Didn't we just verify the drive integrity? Yeah, alrighty. So we want to, let's see, 32 times 1024, 32768. 32768. Yeah. Woohoo! And we want to set active partition to 1. Yeah. So let's exit F disk. You must restart your system. Any drives you create or changes must be formatted after you restart. You know what? I don't care. So F disk. Yes. 4. Yeah. Why is it 42% used? Okay. So let's format. C:. Excuse me? What? Why are there files on here already? Does it automatically put files on there? I don't know. Let's just put in our Windows 98 disk because I don't know what I'm doing. Set up. We've been here before. Let's see if setup found caching utility and check your compressed for more information. Huh? This version of Microsoft ScanDisk will work only with MS-DOS versions 5.0 and later. Okay, that's this. Let's just continue with setup. I don't know what it's talking about. Oh my. Oh, it fixed the problem. Okay. This is the weirdest install ever. I've never had this much trouble installing Windows 98 in my life. Setup. If you have, you must... Wow, why is this being so difficult? Why aren't you doing anything? Work. Just work. Work. Blinky, blinky, blink. Quit blinking and do reading. Why is the disk not spinning up? Woohoo! Alright, start computer with CD-ROM support. F disk. Yes, 4. So we have that partition. Format C:. I typed format wrong. Am I doing something wrong? I know. Hold on a second. Alright. I am going to be very aggravated if this does not work. Hey, there's no more weird stuff. Oh, it's not gonna work. Windows setup requires, I've got that. I know what we should do. Let's make a real Windows 98 boot disk and just install it the way you're supposed to. Yeah, that's a great idea. We now have a floppy disk with a Windows 98. This is now a Windows 98 second edition boot disk. And now, believe it or not, I actually wrote this disk using disk utility on a Mac running Catalina, and it worked the first try. That's pretty impressive. Well, not to say that it actually boots, so I'm just gonna shove that in this floppy drive. I figured you'd like to see this. And let's reboot this computer. Which Control-Delete will not work for whatever reason, so we're gonna have to do this, which I hate doing because that poor old hard drive, every time I do that, is spun down and immediately spun back up. So let's see if it's going to boot from that floppy disk. Hey, it works. Hey, look at that. So what we are going to do now is I'm going to try and run fdisk from this instead of the Windows Millennium, because I think maybe that was having problems. You know, we're just going to delete that partition entirely, now that I think about it. And we are going to just reboot the system and start setup from the CD-ROM, like in the option, because that's how I normally do it. I'm trying to get all fancy, and well, all it's doing is causing problems. Okay, let's just see if this is going to work. Woohoo! Continue. Yes. Yeah, enable that large disk support. Alright, restart that computer. This is how I should have done it from the beginning instead of trying to play around with the disk, because clearly I don't know. I've been messing around with this for way too long. I don't know if I'll have the willpower to install Windows 2000 today, but you know what, that should be easy peasy. Hey, now it's just going to go ahead and format the disk and do it however it thinks is best. And you know what, if it's like a 2 gig partition or something, I don't care. But this is how I normally install. Well, actually, this is kind of a lie. The Windows 98 CD I normally use is, well, it's super scratched up for one. And before I started this video, I was like, I need to burn a new one. So I'll just burn it from my old image. But I decided that I didn't want to do that because it's kind of a weird stripped down version of Windows 98. The ISO is only like 120 megabytes. I think the version of Windows 98 that comes on there is pretty much complete, but it's missing all the stuff. The CD sampler for like the tour is missing on the CD, all those video clips, the cool video clips as it says. When that little window comes up, which I'll show you in a minute on my other disc, you click that stuff and literally nothing happens. Whereas on this CD, it's all there. And before I burnt this disk, which I knew was not bootable, I just in VirtualBox, I put the ISO in, I got a boot floppy image, put that in, I installed it on VirtualBox before I burnt the CD because, you know, CDs are valuable resources. I don't want to waste them. So it all worked fine. All the videos and stuff are even on the CD, so that's great. I burnt it. I thought that I was just going to use my Windows ME disk as the boot disk and just use fdisk so I don't have to use like partition editors and Parted Magic and modern stuff, because I wanted to make this everything all old school for this video. Well, clearly that didn't work. I have no idea how you're supposed to do a dual boot back in the day, probably using third-party tools of the time. I don't know or care what those third-party tools are at the time, because, well, the third-party tools I have run fine even on this old beast. Yeah, the modern tools of today, circa 2012, run on this thing. I guess they're really not all that modern tools. They're from 2012, but still. Computers were a lot different in 2012 from what they are now. This thing was probably still vaguely usable at that point. You know, Flash Player was still how you played videos. HD streaming was, you know, still not really a thing. Your internet connection was probably so slow it took all day to download Windows 98. Unless you were in Kansas City when Google Fiber was a thing. 2012 was a different time. Okay, so it has now finished formatting. I have no idea how long it actually took because I was away for quite a while, so I don't know how long this took. Let's just hit enter for setup to perform a routine check on your system. I'm actually in the process right now of editing the video that you saw before this of me putting the USB 2 card in this system. And yeah. Okay, so this is a lot more how it should look. Woohoo. Alright, so we are going to continue. And hopefully this is the last time we will be seeing this screen in this video, because if not, I'm probably going to end up throwing this computer out the window. Alrighty, so we have got our license agreement. Does the mouse work? No, it does not. Alright, I accept the agreement. Woohoo, next. Alrighty, let's go for custom. Go for those desktop themes. And we'll call it Gates. Gateway Win 98. Perfect. Yep, that's all good. Yep. We don't want a startup disk. Alright, remove the disk and click OK to continue setup. Alright. And we will start copying those files. Woohoo! Woohoo! Alright, so I guess I'll come back in a little while. I'll work on that video for a little longer and I'll come back and see what the screen looks like. Alright, so it's been a very long amount of time later. Not because it was taking so long, but because I was doing... Hey, the mouse works. Look at that. Alright, so we're going to go for Eastern Time. Okay. And I guess I'll just let it do its thing. It's going very fast. I'm very, very, very happy with that. I think that it won't need anything else from me up until it gets to the desktop if I'm... Or not the desktop, but the login screen if I'm correct. So yeah, I'm going to run off and it's probably going to be like another hour before I come back, but it will have definitely not taken that long. A very large amount of time has passed once again, and right now the system has a blinking cursor, but the light indicates that it is in sleep mode, so I'm going to push a button. Hard drive spinning up. Oh! Hey, look at that. Alright, so here we go. Okay. Type name to identify yourself to Windows. Enter a password if you want to. I don't want a password. Enter. Cool, so it does appear that everything is working, which is great. So next. I don't know why Windows 98 does this every time. Finish. Oh, I thought I hit that. I thought I was sitting here waiting. Look at that. Well, I hope you enjoyed my rendition of that. So we're gonna have no drivers whatsoever. So let's see how awful the device manager is looking right about now. So we've got no modem, no Ethernet, no audio, no USB, and no graphics. Look at that. So I have where'd my flash drive go? So I have all the drivers on here. If I plug it in the front USB ports, it's not going to work. Oh, or is it? Okay, that's cool. But it's not going to install because it doesn't know what to do with it. So I guess those USB 2 ports in the front are acting as USB 1 ports. I have a disk here. Let me find it. So this CD here has Windows 98 Plus package as well as USB drivers on it. So I'm going to put this in our secondary optical drive, see if it's working. So if we go over to my computer, we do have our 2 optical drives, which is cool. But what we're going to want to do is explore and run this this here. Alright, cool. So USB flash drives, universal USB 2 drivers. Alright, so let's, yes. Alright, so we should theoretically have USB drivers. Out of curiosity, I'm interested how big it made the partition. Okay, so it made it take up the whole drive. It's the 76 gigs, so that's huge for Windows 98. We'll be shrinking that down. So let me shove this thumb drive in here again and see if it works now. Let's try and reinstall driver, because cool. Alrighty, so now we should be good to go. Had I have installed those drivers prior to plugging it in, it would have just worked no problem. Alright, so here we have removable disk. We have gateway Win98 here, and we have what we need. So I'm gonna go and make a drivers folder. So I need to be in C. So new folder drivers. And what we're gonna do now is copy over our audio driver, this is the Ethernet, and this is our Nvidia driver. Alright, so we've got sound, Ethernet, and audio. Or video, I mean. Sound, Ethernet, and video here. Okay, so let's get these drivers installed now. So we're going to go and the graphics at least is done through here. I don't have the graphics driver I have doesn't have a setup. So we'll go here, update driver, next. We'll specify a location in C, drivers, next. We won't restart yet. We'll go for Audio PCI Sound Blaster setup. Why does it just remove? Whatever. We'll just go and do the same thing here, I guess. Okay, so those clearly aren't the right drivers. I think I have them here though. Whatever, I'll get the audio in a minute. We'll install the Ethernet though, I suppose. Looking great in all 16 colors there. We'll restart. And why is the floppy drive making those noises? That was weird. Hey, look at that color. go. So at least we can see what we're doing now, so we'll go into here and make that all look pretty. Woohoo. And we'll also go into effects and show window contents while dragging. And also do an auto adjust because the screen is all kinds of messed up. And there we go, we are now all good to go. Except for the audio. Let's see how we're doing in the device manager. The Ethernet controller still is, oh, well there we go, now we're good. So there's that. The universal serial bus is not installed though, however. And now we've just got an hourglass. Alright, so... whoa, that's not what I wanted. If we just go... so that should all be good. I'm pretty sure that those drivers were actually taken care of by installing the... so let's see if this seems to be running at USB 2 speeds. So let me just try and copy that. And it locked up. That, oh no, there we go. But I do believe it is running at USB 2. It's not going particularly fast though. So I guess what I'm going to do is shut this thing down, and I'm going to go find Creative Audio PCI drivers. Okay, so while this boots up, I have downloaded two things. First thing is I noticed that my graphics driver is from 1999, so it's like a very early initial release driver, considering the card was released in '99. I downloaded the latest driver that supports it, which is honestly probably not the best idea. It's from '05. It's probably supports an afterthought at this point. Probably best to go with like a driver from, you know, like '02 or so. But that's what I got. I also got the drivers for the sound card, so we can get sound out of this thing. So we want C drivers. We're gonna delete this audio PCI. So gateway drivers, these are the files. I don't know why the system like locks up whenever I start to copy things. It's not great. It's definitely doing it at USB 2 speeds though. Alright, so I think the first thing that we should do is the audio. I'm pretty sure this is correct. I don't want to restart quite yet because, well, I want to update the Nvidia drivers. Wow, these support 95. They were developing Windows 95 drivers in 2005. That's pretty impressive. So we'll update the drivers because the graphics drivers that are currently installed are very old. Cool. Alright, so let's finish. We'll go ahead and restart now. And let me turn this speaker on, because we, fingers crossed, will have audio when it comes on, and we definitely want to hear that wonderful Windows 98 startup. You mean to tell me I took my mic off and we don't have audio? Alright, so we have video drivers that are more up to date. Let's go ahead and get these going full. Alrighty, cool. So these drivers are installed. Oh, there's less screen tearing, I believe. I think these actually are quite a bit better. Alright, so let's go into the device manager and go to sound. So it does appear that it is there. This device is working properly, so why is there no sound? Multimedia? Yeah, sound blaster PCI. So what if we try and play some sound? Why is there no sound? Hold on, I think the speaker is not plugged in. Maybe. The speaker is not plugged in, or the speaker's not plugged in. No wonder there's no sound. I'm an idiot. Wow, okay. That still doesn't explain why there's not volume control at the bottom. Let's restart this thing. I don't understand why there's no volume control down there. Oh, it wasn't. Alright, well there we go. Surprised there's no extra creative garbage on here. But there we go, the system is now fully working on Windows 98. Now this is what I was wanting to try out. Let's look at the CD sampler and the videos. What kind of videos we got here?
Now appearing for the first time on your PC, Barney.
It's good to see you. Let's play.
Get the best of Barney and the quality of Microsoft on 3 super-de-duper new CD-Rom titles.
Point to where you want to go and click.
Design. There's Parents' Room, where adults can learn more about Actimates and what their children will learn using these games. Plus an area where children...
Look at that. Okay, so now that we've got Windows 98 all nice and installed, it's time to work on Windows 2000. So, we've got Windows 98 all good. All the drivers are installed except for the modem. And I actually don't know what the modem is. But I'm sure Windows 2000 will help us out with that because I feel like it probably has all the drivers. In fact, I know it does because I've installed Windows 2000 on this computer multiple times. I was just going to use the other setup, but this hard drive had to go. It was just so annoying. It was annoying to me, and I can deal with it if I was just using it for messing around with things myself. But if I'm recording, that whine is just on the background of the video, and it is terrible. Not exactly very fun to listen to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eject this CD-ROM drive, and I'm going to shut down the computer. That was a click off. I'm going to put this Windows 98 CD in the case because I have an awful habit of leaving discs lay around and then they get all scratched. And I'm going to put Hiren's boot CD in the drive, turn the computer on, and hopefully it is going to boot straight into that. Man, I wish I could turn that ceiling fan on. It is toasty in here, but the wind gets right into the microphone. So I apologize for that if you watched the last video and there was just so much noise in the mic. So we're going to enter into Parted Magic, and we're going to do live with default settings because this thing does not have enough RAM to do it in the normal mode because normally it copies it to RAM and runs it from there. But we need to run it straight from the CD or it won't boot. This is taking forever. Well, that was fast. Oh, it's not even done loading. Yeah, okay, so we are going to jump straight into the partition editor because what we want to do is shrink down that Windows 98 partition. Yeah, there we go. So here's gparted. Yeah, alright, so what we are going to do is we are going to resize this partition. And we are going to make it be, I'm going to make it 32 gigs. 32768 megabytes. 32768. Alright. Cool. So now we will have that partition be 32 gigs, and we will have like 44 for Windows 2000. So that's all we need to do. We're just going to go ahead and apply that. And hopefully it's not going to take too long. Alright, that was actually pretty quick. I'm alright with that. So now we have got, once it scans again, cool, so now we've got 32 gigs and 44 gigs. Perfect. So what I'm going to do now is close that down, and we are going to restart the computer. Come on, gotta do some quick swap. Yeah, I think I got it quick enough. Woohoo! Now this should be easy peasy. We shouldn't have any problems like we did with Windows 98. That was a pain, and it turns out that this floppy disk was our savior when it came to Windows 98. This is going to take a while. I'm going to turn the camera off and turn the fan on while this is going. Okay, so I walked away for quite a while, and now we are here. No idea how the rest of the installation went because I wasn't watching. I can't type and do this at the same time. Why does Control A not work? I won't ever use the modem, but whatever. We are Eastern Time. Alrighty. Install those networking components. Also, I came up here to check on this after I made lunch, so this better be quick or my food's gonna get cold and I'm not gonna be happy. I don't care about networking components. Seriously, this is installing the modem. I don't care. It doesn't have the drivers for my gigabit Ethernet card built in there. If it did, that'd be impressive, but I'm very certain it does not. I don't even think XP does. I know Windows 10 does, because I've actually used this card on Windows 10 to run a file server on a more modern computer that only has 10100. I say modern, it's a Pentium 4. It's a better space heater than file server, but that's all I had at the time. I didn't run it for very long either. It was just a proof of concept thing. Alright, so I think that at this point I can walk away and it's going to just keep installing, hopefully. Yeah, I'll be back. Woohoo! Completing the Windows 2000 setup wizard. You have successfully completed Windows 2000 setup. There's a CD in your drive, remove it, and then click finish. So I guess we'll do what it says. We'll remove that CD, put it away. There we go. Hey, look at that. Alright, so we got the boot manager set up correctly. We'll go for Windows 2000. Oh, I'm sorry if you start to hear wind noise. I set the fan to low. Hopefully that'll be okay, but it is burning up in here. Oh, look at that. We got full color. Network identification wizard. Okay, next. Cancel. We don't want that. Alright. Let's get some sound going. Oh, I caught the last second of it. Alright, so Windows 2000 is all set up. Look at that. So we've got this, a lot of screen tearing. We'll probably install more up-to-date drivers. if we go into Manage, Device Manager, what do we have not? Just the Ethernet controller, and the modem is a HCF 56K modem. What is HCF? Okay, so I'll take a picture of that for me whenever I go to look for drivers, and I need to get that and an updated Nvidia Vanta driver. So as far as the installation goes, I think we're done. I mean, everything's all good to go. Let's try and play some MIDI. Where's the media folder? Oh, I'm blind. That MIDI sounds terrible. Alright, hopefully this will make up for you not getting it earlier. Interestingly, it doesn't have any copyright information, and all the other ones do. One thing that's really cool, still to this day in these early versions of Windows that's not there anymore, is you can just preview sounds right here. Which I think is really cool. Alright, so I guess we'll shut this thing down for the time being. And yeah, so dual boot is done. Okay, I now have drivers that actually support the hardware, so let's try this. So if we go ahead and go back to my computer, removable disk, gateway, this should actually support it. This should be the latest version that supports it. There we go, that's a little better. Next. These are all downloaded from philscomputerlab.com actually. If you're looking for older Nvidia drivers, he's got a fantastic archive, and that is where I got this. So let's restart. Turn on some speakers. Okay, the resolution changed. That's fun. So the first thing that we'll do is go ahead and fix that. So we want true color 1024 by 768. Yes. Everything's all good. Let's go ahead and manage. And if we go to Device Manager, we now have the Nvidia, official Nvidia driver installed. And we also have our Nvidia stuff. So we can do all of our things in here. So yeah, there we go. So now the thing that's left to do is boot into Windows 98 and install that modem driver. Oh man, we didn't install the Ethernet driver on Windows 2000. We'll have to boot up into there again, I guess. Cool. So there we go. Windows 98's all good. So let's go into my computer and our removable disk gateway. Alright, so I don't know why setup didn't work, but let's just go to C modem, because there is no setup.exe. That would explain it all. So let's go and try and install this manually. So if we go to properties, reinstall driver, next, browse to modem. What do you mean Windows was unable to? Let's just do this then. Sorry, I got a phone call. Anyway, browse modem. Why? Other devices. It's not other devices. It's modems. Modem. Next. Yeah, there it is. Perfect. Yeah. Stupid. Anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. Next. Okay, I assume that works. Let's just try and make a call through it, even though I don't have a thing. Is there phone dialer? There we go. Alright, well, I don't have the modem plugged into the sound card, so I'm not going to hear anything. I assume it's working. Probably. I don't care if it's working or not, to be totally honest. All I care about is that there's no more yellow exclamation marks here. So Windows 98 is all good to go. So now we're just going to head over to Windows 2000, install the network driver, and then this computer is all good to go. My camera died, however, I am ready now. So, I don't remember what I was saying, but my camera died. We're going to go ahead and install the Ethernet drivers for, what is this, Windows 90... Wait a minute, this is the wrong operating system. Alrighty, so we want to, now this is where the modem, or not the modem, the Ethernet card is not installed. Yes, Ethernet controller. So we need to go to my computer, removable device, gateway drivers. No, it's just, it's in, where's that? GA311 setup. Alright, I saw error, but it says it's complete, so let's go into manage and see if it did it. Because Windows cannot load. You need to restart your computer. Alright, so I guess if we restart, is it going to work? Because that didn't look very promising. I think that driver is actually not good. I think the correct drivers are somewhere else on the thumb drive, actually. How many times have I seen this thing restart in the last 10 minutes? I don't even know. I've probably seen this thing restart about 10 times in the last 10 minutes. Ooh, fun! Well, at least it's right there and says what the problem is. Well, let me just go into safe mode, I guess, and get rid of this. Ah, man, this is being more complicated than it should be. There's the very sad-looking Windows 2000 splash screen because we have no drivers and it looks horrendously awful. You can clearly tell this OS is not designed with 16 colors in mind at all. Is this ever going to start up? Because I am not in the mood for installing Oh, finally! My goodness! Alright, so we want settings, control panel, add or remove not hardware, programs. We want to get rid of this. Alright, so I guess it won't work because we're in safe mode. So what we're going to do is we're going to go manage, device manager. We are going to uninstall this thing. Oh, it's installing drivers that I don't want it to install. Alright, so let's just go and delete this driver here. So if we go into my computer, see Windows, no, it's G, it's in G, oh, this is the wrong drive. Okay, G, WinNT. Okay, well, at some point the camera quit recording, but basically I went in and uninstalled the driver, hopefully. I don't know if it actually uninstalled all the way or not, because it was kind of being stupid, but hopefully once the system boots back up, we will be all good to go. No more blue screens, and I can install the correct driver. We can restart, and everything will work. This computer has given me nothing but problems here recently. Very, very, very annoying. And I don't know why it's being so slow. I should have just hit the power button and called it a day, really. Because it is being so slow. So slow. Oh, I was about to shut the camera off because I don't want it recording forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Hey. There we go. No. Don't install that driver. We don't want that driver. We don't want that driver. No, we do not. So now we should be able to actually go to add or remove programs and remove it. because it didn't want to do it inside of safe mode. Alright, so now if we go to my computer and manage, and let's just go ahead and uninstall the driver, and we go scan for hardware changes. So I think we actually have it uninstalled now. Cool. Alright, so we don't have it installed anymore. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go and actually install the correct driver, because I knew that one was wrong. It is in here somewhere. I know it's in here somewhere. Where is it at? There it is. It's not that one. This one, yeah, that is the driver that is correct. This one right here. So if we get this guy installed, we should be good to actually have it good. So finish, and we go ahead and reinstall driver. Next. Actually, we don't want to specify location. It should be able to find it. What did it put it, is their question. I don't know, let's just let it find it. So driver, update driver, next. We'll just let it find it, even though it's searching places where it's not. Hey, there we go. Perfect. Alright, so let's just reboot this thing and see if it works without any blue screens. So if we just restart this thing for hopefully the last time of this video, because it has been way too many times of rebooting. Way too many. Absolutely ridiculous. But hopefully we will be all good to go, and no more reboots will be necessary. Alright, we got the driver installed. No blue screens so far. Let's log in. If I can put the password in correctly. Look at that. So we've got, look at that, we got a local area connection right down there. GA311. If we go in and manage, I guarantee you that the driver is going to show up right there as installed successfully. And there it is, GA311 gigabit adapter. So I think this video is finally done. We have dual booted Windows 98 and Windows 2000. Expect some videos on this thing to come where we actually mess around with some software. Now we've got a quiet hard drive, a full good install of Windows 98 and Windows 2000 on here. So we've got a computer we can mess around with all sorts of old software on now, which is fantastic. So stay tuned for those videos. We will see you next time. Don't get used to this high amount of videos because I won't have time in about a week. But I'm just pumping them out while I can. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye. Let's just shut this guy down for the final time. I don't know why it's not doing the sounds. Isn't it supposed to have a... It's supposed to have a shutdown sound, but it hasn't been playing. Where's media? Yeah, I was supposed to play that. What if I log off? Then will it do it? No, it doesn't do it. That's annoying. Whatever, let's just shut this thing down. And we will see you next time. Goodbye.